Technical issues already at the beginning.
Oh, I can see us.
There we go. We're all here.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
Hello and welcome to Devcast Ops. My name is Barnaby. I'm joined by James and Wale. And this week we're making use of the TLS certificates that we generated last week. So we spun up some TLS certificates using Let's Encrypt via an Ansible playbook with the idea that we can now have HTTPS for our UI front end so that we can get that nice little padlock and do it in a way that we don't have to distribute CAs too much. So we've had the certificate and now we need to use it. I think the other thing we're looking to do this week is potentially get it so Let's Encrypt runs its own user instead of root, so we can better distribute permissions to certificates. So.
Yep, you say we have a certificate. I deleted it before the stream, so don't technically have a cert yet. So yeah, let's start with. I think we're going to try this route. So in the create user, try the Ansible become random user. See what errors we hit. If those errors are too complicated, we can do the other thing, which is we generate as root, and then we chown directories. But I think if we can get certbot to run as a non-sudo user, it would be quite nice.
I don't see a reason why it should have to, but then some things have weird reasons why they do and don't do stuff.
So I'm going to steal... The first thing we need to do is user and group. So I'm going to steal this user and group block. Oh, yeah, that's some good tapping. That's good tapping. That's some good tapping. There we go. This is let's. Oh, wow. And that should be like that. Where are we saying users? They're not at the. Oh, they are at the root level, aren't they?
Probably.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, because we wanted this to be a common service.
Yeah.
Which I guess maybe at some point we might change if, depending on how large our estate is, if there's certain things that are just backend services, they don't need to have Let's Encrypt certificates, as we don't care about the CA so much for those.
Yeah, I suppose within our inventory, I mean, technically we have this Let's Encrypt role, so I can shove it in there.
Yeah. But then I guess do the other roles pull from it?
Yes, they do need access to the group. You're right. Yeah, that's fine. Let's know about that for now. So let's script group, let's script user, and then do you think we've got to run a user level? Right, no, let's just be simple. So we need to run this command. We need to probably run this command as well. So become. There's no way this is going to work, but whatever.
Let's be positive.
So that, oops.
Do we want to set up the directory that it's writing to the TL? Do we have a directory? Yeah, we're creating a directory.
Yeah,
the Let's Encrypt folder that should be owned.
Yeah, you're right.
User group.
User.
Become Let's Encrypt.
I was hoping my spell checker would pick it up, but
I think because it sees it as a string.
Yeah.
Do you want to set a mode on it to be Would it be 700 or 7?
No, because there's a
750.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, because there's a secret that I need to set.
Because currently the Let's Encrypt directory, the one that it was creating wasn't traversable by. It was owned by root, wasn't traversable.
Yeah,
So
live folder.
that one should be the same.
I'm just trying to remember this. Do you remember how we got this one in?
Environment variables in your local terminal.
I did just have the environment variable written and it pulled it in.
I think so. Didn't we do a lookup somewhere?
Oh, yes, we did the lookup in the thing. Right.
Yeah.
Cool. I've exported that. Glad I remembered that one because I deleted that file. Yeah. I mean, I'm curious. Let's run and see what happens.
Could you make that bigger, please? Thank you.
Problem with running on a 4K monitor.
You just need to get a 4K stream resolution.
It doesn't like file group. Doesn't like user. Owner. Of course, it's owner, not group. Not user.
You could have stolen it from somewhere.
That's all. I should have stolen it from somewhere.
Wait, sorry. Are we okay with the mode 600?
Is it 600 by default?
This is the init, the INI file.
That's okay. Sorry, I thought we were gonna change the mode.
Init file will need to be accessible by the. Is it accessible by the Cloudflare user?
No. So you need to be.
It can still be 600. Yeah.
Let's shove this to 600. 660.
Do you not want it 770? Well, reads 4. I think. Oh no, read. I always get it confused because executes 1. I think you might want 4, or which would be traversable for this. So you would probably want 7.5 rather than 6.4.
Yeah. Yeah, because the executable flag for a directory is it transversal or not?
Yeah.
And then it's not become, it's become user.
It was just become.
No, become is, do you want them to become yes or no?
How come your VS Code doesn't flag that up as also that it wasn't wrong then?
It's a like, yeah, it's one of those let's encrypt isn't Boolean, but YAML doesn't, because this is a variable. If this variable interpolated to a Boolean, this would be fine.
Yeah.
Types, yay. It's why people like strongly typed things.
So in an organization, this will be a long process for me. Running Terraform first, and then coming to Ansible. And then after Ansible, what's next? Going to the server and do manual configuration as well.
Wait, Why would you be running Ansible and then doing manual configuration?
For Vault, remember? Didn't you say like
Oh no, you pass it back to Terraform at that point.
Yeah, at that point you go back to Terraform. Third set permissions on temporary files. Ansible needs to create file. The other option is to not become and to run the command as the user.
Yeah, because I think Ansible will try and su to the user.
Sudo
-u
-u username.
Yeah, you want sudo rather than just su.
Oh. Sudo. It's sudo su username.
No, sudo -u.
Is -u?
No.
-u
Dash SUs that he wrote was looking fine to me.
The -u specifies the user.
-su.
You want the username for the user that you're running it as. Unused, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you'd have to go. Okay, -u is correct. I don't know what I was trying to do. SU is change user, which I think is what I thought about. But yeah, that works. So it's just -u user, and then I don't need to become anymore.
You can stay as you are.
I think you'll get a warning from Ansible saying that this is not best practice.
I don't think I will. I don't think Ansible's smart enough to see what I'm doing.
I think it might be.
Fatal.
Permission denied to, yeah. So it couldn't access its lock, which is fine.
It's a lock file created as part of the snap install.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I guess if that was created beforehand, I don't know if you cleared out the var log for Let's Encrypt.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, sorry, I wouldn't have cleared out this. So if I just go -of. I mean, let's try again. Worst comes to worst, we can generate this directory ourselves.
Yeah, it might be part of the install. I'd be intrigued if it picks it up. Maybe we'll just generate it again.
Oh, so permission denied on var log Let's Encrypt, but we can set a log directory if we want to. So there's two ways of doing this. One, we make this thing be able to generate a log directory, or the second, they use it to generate so it can access this, which I think I rather.
Yeah.
The other option is we change the directory. I think I want to create this as a
directory owned by Let's Encrypt.
Directory owned by Let's Encrypt.
Or at least writable by Let's Encrypt.
You happy with me doing it in the same block as the TLS config?
That's fine by me.
No objection.
Right now, I'll just do that. And then this should be items. Item. That one. Oh, I need to do this. Needs to be formatted at some point.
It's still one of those overly aggressive YAML links that will shout at you for every error.
Yep. That's what you need to do. You need to find the most aggressive lint you can for the syntax that you want to follow. Permission denied. Oh, to var lib. I have a feeling that all the Let's Encrypt directories, I'm going to have to force create, which I think I've now done. Config log temp.
I wonder if we run the snap install as the Let's Encrypt user, whether it would have fixed it.
You should register before running. I am registering. Oh no, this will be. Let's try replacing that. CD etc let's encrypt rm dot. We may just be able to run this registered every time. We may have to run this registered every time. The fact that errored going, it wasn't registered.
It's not the end of the world. It makes the Ansible a little less clean because you'll always have a yellow. Then with the plugin containment, is always flowing out. Permission
denied. The ini file that we just created. No, that one. This is our Ansible saying we don't have access to this file we just created.
That's weird.
So ls-lo. Oh,
execute on it.
We can execute. We can write it and execute it, and we can traverse it, but we can't read it.
066 will probably fix that. If you put zeros for front.
Oh yeah, we need to.
Bits.
We should do. Should always do 4-letter bits.
Didn't know that matters.
It doesn't until it does.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling Ansible is one of those places that.
Yes.
And linters really tell you about it. I feel my light is too bright now.
I guess we're getting to the point where we're streaming over dusk, so the ambient light changes quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I was very blown out at the start moment there. I mean, it's sitting. Which is maybe a good thing.
This is where we get rejected.
Oh.
It worked.
Do you mean rejected?
Have you never been rejected before? Your certificates not want to give you that seal of approval?
Okay, so we are. That's correct. Though this directory, which is the live one, doesn't have group read. So after all of that, it still doesn't work. So we do have to change. We're going to have to set a read on the.
I just had the group. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's live.
That just needs to be. I think it just needs to be traversable. Oh, I guess it should be traversable and readable.
Which it is. There's a D.
But that's traversable to the Let's Encrypt user, not to the other users. If you swap to Vault, you wouldn't be able to traverse to there.
Okay, I'm just going to see something else. Hello. Because you're actually in archive, which is something cool. Sudo su vault cd etc let's oops. I can't even get into Let's Encrypt directory, let alone anything else.
What is? I think was selected in encrypt not traversable. Did we not set that up right?
Traversable.
It is no, not everyone.
Oh yeah, because we haven't, which is what we want. But
Yeah.
I guess shall we add the Vault user to the Let's Encrypt group and then start debugging file permissions with it?
That sounds good. So we have this Vault TLS, but I don't think we want to do this because this is the old stuff. I assume we just want to mess with the actual server.
Yeah.
So this is where we need to add user to group.
Yeah, create. We can do it in. I think you can add multiple groups in the.
Is there a grouped option? It's not being helpful. If I need to like. Oh yeah, there's groups.
So I don't. Hopefully, it won't cause an issue here. But on clients, I have one of the Ansible play that we have that adds groups to our user. Just takes forever. I have no idea why.
Well, hopefully, because this is creating the user, it's going to be a little bit quicker. So this is going to be the that one.
Also, hopefully, we don't have any unnecessary, any sort of extra bloatware or stuff like that on here.
Yes, these should just be some. So that, do you reckon?
Sure, I'll give it a go. What's the worst going to happen?
Cool. This plugin containment level thing, we can probably be a little bit neater about it.
I do wonder if with groups, if that will clash with group. Yeah.
Don't know. Just force log this out. Sudo su vault bash groups. Oh, there you go. We have both in group and we're both in vault and let's script. There's a storm outside. I'm just going to close my window. 1 second.
Let me check. Oh, I can't. It's raining, but I can't tell.
When you can feel water when you're like, I don't know, 3 meters away from the window, just because rain is like being whisked around the window because of the wind. Anyway, so we should now etc/cd let's encrypt cd live. No
Permission denied.
Yeah, because live doesn't have traversal, so we'll have to add traversal to live for
the group.
Yeah, one more to add to that list.
Well, no. Well, this is. Do we want to do it to this list, or do we want to do a different one? I mean, might as well add to this list.
They're all the same permissions, and they're all part of.
Yeah.
They'll be needed as part of the standard process.
We may need archive as well, but
I guess. Do you have?
I would rather see if this works, and then if it doesn't work, add more permissions.
I guess. Can we look at the archive?
Archive is the same as live, but it's whether the soft link from live to archive. It's how that works because we don't have to traverse archive. I don't think because it's soft linked.
Hmm.
I don't
guess we'll find out.
know. I don't know enough about how. LS dash LA. Live is now traversable. Now into live. Devcast ops. Cat.
Pem.
The chain.pem. That's one that doesn't matter.
I don't think any of the Pems matter.
Permission denied.
Yeah, you don't have permission for the soft link. So we need access to archives as well. It's such a nice day out there as well.
It was lovely. I sat outside for a bit earlier, and now it's a storm. I should just cancel this. It's like, I should make sure it finishes. It's like, wait, no, this is just old Ansible code. Setting up Nomad, which is the last thing we do. Like, it's pretty quick for everything it does. For everything it does when it's already all up and live.
Yeah, I guess we've got a fairly good connection to the server.
There we go.
Nice.
So that is Vault set up.
But we need to tell it to use those certificates.
Yeah, which is a template file change. Nope. Which is a template file change. We have a directory.
Already a variable.
Okay, where's this variable set?
Vault, probably.
This one. So you need to go.
I wonder, you probably can just tell it to use that TLS.
I was going to. But I was going to build secrets here, build variables here that have all the paths, and then in the other playbooks call these ones.
Yeah.
So when we rip all this stuff apart, it makes more sense.
No, agreed.
Dash H.
I like the way that Ansible handles variables and all different layers you can do it at, but at the same time, you also can get into sort of situation where it's quite hard to track where everything is.
Yes. I mean, the fact that I'm now doing that equals that one dash live. Is that right?
Yeah.
Live. Then it's host name, which we're not specifying as a variable? Question mark.
It might just be in the command.
FQDN. I feel like FQDN is something that should have been a variable a while ago. Like that.
And then, yeah, that's the directory, right?
Config live FQDN. And then it's that. I'm just going to drag this to the other screen so I can just still make sure my file extensions are correct. So it's dash certs.pem.
I think everything apart from the key will be PEM. And the key will be key.
Chain.pem. Full chain.pem. Nope, it's all .pems.
Even the key.
It says key here, but it's still a PEM file. I mean, as when you look in certs, you realize that the file extensions mean absolutely nothing, and it's just all the same information.
I did have a look into it, and I think a PEM can contain multiple certificates is the sort of official definition, whereas a cert should only be a single certificate.
Yeah.
Not that it matters.
And there's one file extension that is encrypted. That one matters. Okay. So now into the vault variables. This key directory is private key. Do we need to specify a chain? I don't think we do.
Try without, but I have a suspicion that you may. Although I guess we don't have any. It depends a little bit how Let's Encrypt certs are set up. If their intermediaries are part of this bundles that we can access.
Well, our full chain is 2 certs, so
if our full chain is 2 certs, then no.
Templates, uncomment. Oops.
HTTPSS.
Super secure. Cool. Let's watch this break absolutely everything because something relies on our Vault server somewhere.
I don't think there's nothing in Vault. I unsealed it the other day to try and mess around with some stuff, but didn't do anything.
Yeah, I've kind of almost made a point of not really touching the periphery stuff currently until we have this set up because I don't want to have to change Vault addresses in 20 different places.
Yeah, I was just testing something small and then realized I need to. Oh yeah, I stopped when I realized I had to set up a runner or something like that.
What did you
That
do?
makes sense. Because you set a directory to a file, I think.
Oh yeah, no, we're as part of this, we're modding something.
Or we're creating TLS directories, which we don't need. Go back to the config as well, because shouldn't that just be key dest instead of key dir? And then I think we'll have to update the variable name to make more sense as well.
Yeah, you're right.
Dest. No, you give it the full path.
Nope.
Shouldn't we set them? I think
that one.
Do we not want to rename them Dest rather than?
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. Sorry, you're right. My brain they're too similar. My brain is just going like, yeah, that's that. And then data is fine. I think we were we were CH modding. We were CH modding something that we really shouldn't have, which I'm glad that it was like, yeah, you shouldn't be doing that.
Well, I think it was because it was treating it as a directory when it was a file, and it was like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Oh, that looks happy. Vault. HTTPS vault. If I can type. Vault doesn't seem happy. Vault failed. No.
Is Vault a different listener API address? What is our API address? Ooh. Yeah.
You looking for journal CTO?
Yeah, no, I'm surprised that it doesn't think I've used it at all. It's that one. No, that one. Anyway, error loading TLS cert open permission denied on the priv key.
Ooh.
Does the priv key have more strict permissions than the other ones? Because it should.
We're about to find out.
It's not cat directory.
I guess, yeah, check the archives.
Oh, wait, I
didn't
never
CD
actually went to
into
this
the-
directory.
Yeah.
ls -la cd archive is, yeah, that's right. ls -la.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
one's
that's
fine.
right. ls-la. Correct permissions. No.
Yeah, just make it readable by the Let's Encrypt group as well. So that'll be run after the.
So the problem with this, we may want to make this more complicated now.
Oh, is because the cert bot will automatically replace these, won't it?
It doesn't replace anything. It increments and changes where the live points to, which means every 3 months this is going to be wrong. You can edit. I think it's. I think certbot has added something that we can append. Do you remember how? Do you know? And anyone know how you see a cron tab?
It's been a long time since I've messed around with cron tab.
-L. Cron tab -L.
No cron tabs for it. See, let's sudo su. Let's. I thought I added a cron tab. Maybe Let's Encrypt hasn't done anything and it's just going to fail in 3 months.
No, wasn't that part of the appeal of using setbox?
It's meant to do something automatically, but I haven't looked into it. So the issue. So I'm more than happy setting this up to work, and then we can do a better way of doing it later.
It's in 3 months.
The other way of doing it is we run this per application as their user.
That makes more sense, but
it is hella more complicated.
Yep.
Because then we probably want to generalize the TLS. So we run it for each role.
I'm just trying. Yeah. I guess it depends how it automatically increments. So if you're saying it's just it'll update the symlink. What's the archive folder structure in DevClass Ops?
Sorry, I'm not a useful user anymore.
No, it's fine because it looks like doesn't look like there's a folder structure above archive.
let's add the group to the private key, and when it breaks, let's see how it breaks. Because I can't remember, like, I have seen things that say how it works, but what I would also like to do is on updates, re-trigger all the services to pick up the new keys. So this actually is a more complicated process anyway. So it's because every 3 months we want to regen the keys and then tell Vault you've got a new cert update, console you've got a new cert update, Nomad you've got a new cert update, which all the services can handle. And then as part of that, we can just chone the new private key.
I guess the
Not
other way,
chone, chmod.
the other way around it is instead of using certbot's automatic process, trigger it via Ansible when the certificate is within X days of expiry, and say we have Ansible run on the first day or midnight on Sunday.
And we can even have Nomad on that, because I think Nomad does scheduled jobs.
Yeah. And then if it detects something's going to expire within the next 14 days, it just goes, time to get a new cert. And then it automatically sorts out the permissions.
Let's do that.
So let's group it now, and then we'll look at automating the running of this later. I'd be intrigued to see what happens when we, or in 3 months' time, when we generate a new certificate, how it archives. Whether if it moves those and
that's the
replaces
fun thing
it.
about all this stuff. It's like, what's it going to do in 3 months? So this is an item. I don't think I have any items here, do I?
It must be a file, but instead of a state, it will be. I don't think you have to have state.
Yeah. File, owner, group.
You just need 6.4.
6.4. And then this doesn't need any of them. We just need. It's not even going to be the variable, is it? It's like that one, but slightly different. /archive /fqdn /privkey1. Is that right?
I think so. That makes sense.
One way to find out. We need to set up Vault health checks as well at some point. Well, health checks for all this stuff, because that was like, yeah, it works. It's all happy. It's like, no, you're not.
I remember the health check series was a very long one for console.
Yeah, but Vault's going to be simpler because it's like one Vault health check.
Well, you might do one. I guess it depends how verbose you want your logging to be, whether you want it to spit out whether the service is running or just go, it's failed to connect to.
Yeah. And I mean, the reason why the console was so complicated as well is we were doing a full 5-node cluster and wanted to check all the nodes were up, whereas this is like, we have one Vault server. It's either up or not.
Yeah, the things you'd probably want is to check if the service is running, and then you just run assist seal status and have valid return code. So at the moment, we just care about 200. If we expand to a larger set of nodes, we would then, I can't remember what you get different codes for standbys, and then again, different codes for replication, although as we don't have an enterprise license, we don't need to worry about the replication codes.
Oh, it's not going to bounce the service because nothing's changed in Ansible.
Yeah, that makes sense.
One problem with the way Ansible works. That looks almost happy. I don't know why I have 3 certs.
I do find that weird. It doesn't matter which one you pick.
Well, no, I don't want to pick one because I've picked one before, and then it means you can't. Then it's not being the one I want. So then, when I've tried to do like cert sign in the future, I can't work out how to tell it I want to use a different cert. So I'll ignore it for now because there's a chance that our VPN system has a cert for us, and one of those certs defines who we are. In which case, through the VPN, being able to log into Vault would be amazing. Anyway, we spent 50 minutes and we've got Vault up and running. Do you want to try and speedrun console?
I'm just wondering, before we do that, is there a way to add alternate sans to the Let's Encrypt set?
It's this. That one. It's this -D. These are sans. Ugh. So it's just extra -Ds.
Could we add localhost to it? So if you're on the server and want to do something, and yeah, I guess the other one, do we want to add the IP address of the server? Probably.
I mean, we can do.
I'm just thinking if we care.
No, that's not.
No, we don't, because we'd always hit it through FTQDN. It's just if you're on the server and you just wanted to run a quick Vault service, it defaults to.
I mean, you don't.
127.0.1.
It's not first step. Exports. Ignore TLS. Nope. You're right. Cool. Well, let's run that and look at console. Yeah. Console next.
Yeah, sure.
Gonna clean that bit. So we need to use the same block as Vault. When I say block, I mean this group's block.
Console common or console base, I would have thought.
It'd be console base.
You're looking at Nomad at the moment.
Yeah, I realized that. Do we want the console clients to have the access to these certs?
No, because the clients don't present the UI.
So currently, the user is set up in console base. So in the server, we need to do an add.
Yeah. You can just do, if you do groups without group, if you do user and do groups, it'll append groups to a current user.
So if I go console user.
Yeah, so take that. And then remove, just replace, yeah, put an S on groups and put the Let's Encrypt group.
Yeah, that's far more complicated. Vault. There we go. And then in the config.
Yeah.
Oh, look, we have all this TLS stuff we've commented out. It's like we thought we were going to come back to it.
Your HTTPS is
wrong. Single dented. No wonder this is all weird.
And then the closing bit for the block as well. It's also single dented.
Right. Yep. And now within the console, we just have a TLS directory. Oh God, how do we want? So console, which is this one, needs CA, cert, and key.
Yep.
So do we want to do it the same way we've done Vault and have these two?
Yeah.
Wait, that one. just because console has multiple DNSs. Oops. This is just gonna thing. CA. Wait, there isn't a CA option for this one.
What do you mean? We get a CA back?
No, we get cert, chain, full chain, private key. I think we don't need a CA file because it's public CA.
Try without it, see what happens.
I will comment for that.
Alternatively, the full chain will have the CA at the top of it.
Yeah, which means maybe we can, or maybe chain. I don't know. It's fine. It's just. Key cert. Yeah. Ooh. Let's Encrypt will not authenticate certificates with bare IP addresses.
Oh well.
Sorry,
Why
what?
don't you use localhost? If you're gonna if you use Let's Encrypt, I don't think it will give us either of them because it won't. It won't be able to talk to localhost from its server.
Yeah, that's fine. We can get rid of them then. It's not a. It
was a good idea.
It's irritating having to do it, but it's not the end of the world.
God, too many folders. I suppose it's.
I get why they do it though.
We could add into the. Well, as individual users, we could probably add into our Bash RC. Just export all the domains if we really cared. Oh, wait. Is that just going to work? That's not going to work, is it? Port is fine. No. Great, HTTPS set to -1. No. Maybe. I think console is actually more complicated than just that, but I'm going to restart because that would have failed. Well, it maybe wouldn't have failed. It wouldn't have given us the answer we wanted.
We wouldn't have got TLS.
I feel like maybe I should have picked Nomad for the quick one to do in 10 minutes. Always forget how complicated console is.
It's a networking tool.
Yeah. In the future, it's going to make our networking so much more complicated.
So why are we bothering?
Why? It'll make it easier as well.
Yeah. We will be able to talk to our services through console networking instead of having to work out GCP firewalls or cross-server firewalls and stuff. Other things that it gets around. Oh. Oh. Yeah, that's this.
What's the errors? Yeah, it's on TLS there.
Because it's commented out, but Ansible still cares about it. It's bad. I've eaten, but Grace is cooking food for later on in the week. And it's making me so hungry. I've already had dinner. It's just like, oh.
Go high, bro. Go high.
Got to get all that food in. I just saw with the Vault server tabs, like, oh, we're done. And I was like, no, we need console servers.
Yeah. We did the quick win, which was Vault. Quick win.
Quick for an hour. That was quick.
I mean, we didn't just get it to work. Like we did things to make it better, I think. So that should be the server up and running.
I haven't logged into console UI for a long time.
Well, the oh yeah. I mean, this is the other issue with console is we call APIs. So things are going to break, but console also just doesn't work. Multiple private IPv4 addresses. Please configure with bind and advertise. I don't think I can just do that, but maybe. We had to do it for HTTP. Oops. So I don't know if it doesn't like the fact there's multiple IP addresses. So this is what we had for HTTP. We just told it to bind to 0. So I don't think it's going to work. But if this works, then I'll be much happier than. I suppose it'd be a bind. If that doesn't work.
I bind address and all of that.
Because we don't know the IP address. It would be the private IP that we'll bind to. But we don't have to do it for Vault. So I'm kind of hopeful we don't have to do it for this either. Unless it's in like base we bind. No, that's just encryption stuff. Yeah. Add group, add config, restart. Failed. Oops. Still the same issue. Oops. Is it do we think it's addresses we want? I'm surprised there is multiple IPv4 addresses.
It's been so long since I messed with the console config file for this kind of bit.
Oh, there's the Docker one. There's the Docker one. That's what it's complaining about. I think we want to bind to the address.
Oh wow, it's saying TCP addresses. TCP addresses should be a port and IP and a port.
Oh, it's addresses. Defaults to client address. So the bind address defaults to the addresses block, which I've got. defaults to the client address. So I think I just want to set the client address. So I think addresses I need to set. I probably just want to do all of them.
All the addresses.
Well, because there's just a client address option. Love that client address, equivalent to -client in the command line. It's like, it's not that useful. Maybe the flag will tell me. Oh wow, there's a proper like, you can actually do the Go things.
Just raw go into console.
You can do this stuff where it's using the like Go filtering.
Ah.
Though I don't know the fact it's in double things. So this will get the private interfaces with a name. I was just gonna hard code this to the Ansible IP.
Yeah.
Anyone remind me in Ansible how to get the Ansible address of the server you're currently on?
It'll be in the retry join block in the other one. I can't remember. Well, in our case, it'd be host name.
Yeah, I can do host name. I'm just, what are we doing? Vault, that one.
You're just gonna bind to that.
I mean, I could bind to the Vault one. That would be quite funny. So do you think that?
I think you might want to port.
Did we use ports for console? Let me just check. Console.
Well, but the ports is to find up here, aren't they? I'm going to try with this and see if we get an error.
I can't remember if we had this working. I think did we have this working before for a bit?
So
That's
I am 8500 is the port. I'm 90% sure this is broken because we're running Docker on this box. And it's seeing the Docker IP range as another IP range it can bind to. So I'm hoping this will work. If not, we can get the IP. You said in the retry blocks we were doing it?
Retry join block should have it, yeah.
No, that's all the servers.
Which will pull their IPs.
Yeah, but I just need I just need the IP of the current box I'm on.
That will.
This is getting every server and joining them with a comma. I just mean by one IP address.
I think it would just be host name.
I think it is just host name.
I can't remember if I have. Let me see if I have the Ansible stuff open somewhere.
It's because we're using our own host name. Because we're using the host name's IP, so that still doesn't work. Even though we've configured this now.
Yeah, inventory _ host name.
I'm just confused that it's giving the same issue.
Well, aren't you overriding the client address and the addresses block?
Yes, you're right. So let's delete this block. No, wait. Let's vim. Same error.
Do we need bind address? We set that up at some point.
What's the IP of the server? 10.
2.0.6.
2.0.6. Don't same issues.
I think you want bind underscore address instead of client underscore address.
Bind
underscore ADDR.
ADDR equals 10.2.0.6.
Oh, I could probably look at my playground code because I had issues with the EC2 boxes that I was running on having multiple with this exact thing because they had Docker on as well.
Yeah. Yay!
There you go.
So we used bind. I think I'm going to try and keep the advertise stuff for now. Oh, I did delete that.
Just going to leave it hard coded and not use the inventory underscore hostname at least
yeah, right.
dynamically.
Good spot.
Which I think will break if we use the dynamic inventory because they get named differently.
But what you'd want to do
better.
is you'd want to have a variable that gets set with the IPv6, the IPv4 address, which then the dynamic inventory can probably set.
I wonder if IPv6 will ever really take over, or if the solutions to v4 will hold for long enough that it won't ever matter.
I think with AWS charging people per internet hookup, I think with AWS charging people for all their IPv4 addresses, and same with GCP, I reckon big companies that have thousands of servers are going to start moving away from IPv4. Because really, so we have a NAT to connect this to the internet. I have to pay for that because it's an IPv4 address. If it uses an IPv6 address, no one would care.
And we don't actually need the IPv4 because we don't need to memorize it.
No, it's just outbound connection. I'm never going to log into the box.
So we could save money.
Okay. I actually don't know how much it costs, if anything. Do you really want to write it? No. Oh God. W, leave. Let me go. Vim.
Why you should Q exclamation, not W. You don't want to write.
Q exclamation. I was stuck. Okay. Cat. So
imagine when I first went into Vim
let me out.
had no idea how to escape.
It works now. It works.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yay! So we have a nice console server with HTTPS. Obviously, this code fails now because it's looking for HTTP, which maybe I will just check.
Surely you could just do a command F on HTTP.
Yeah, that's all console. Burn it to the
See, normal as
ground.
well. Normal old chicks pussy.
I'm sure this will execute perfectly now.
I mean, are we running commands? We're running API calls, aren't we?
Yeah,
Also, yes,
checks.
we do some checks. Yeah.
So it shouldn't care that. Well, maybe it's going to care that they're unsigned. The certs aren't correct for the things we're calling.
They're signed. I guess this is where we find out whether
We're calling localhost.
Oh yeah, that probably will throw an error.
So we're going to have to tell the config to ignore cert errors.
Can this resolve, or we set up DNS that can resolve?
Yes, I could. We can set up an internal thing that pings the DNS name to the server. I think it'll be easier to tell it to ignore certs.
Yeah, just give it that dash K flag. No, it doesn't seem to care. Oh, no, it does.
So, validity failed.
Yeah. Do you want to fix this another time? As this is just telling Ansible not to care about certs or setting up internal DNS and routing it correctly.
I had a quick Google. I think I quickly found out how to solve it. URI. Is you. Oops. Rush.
Just
No,
defeats,
yeah, no, there's. What's up?
defeating the whole point of TLS.
Well, I mean,
actually, no, not the whole point. Because the traffic's still encrypted, it just doesn't trust it.
Yeah, I mean these should probably be the URLs, not the host name. This one is calling localhost. This is correct. The other ones, maybe not so much. When you are actively calling localhost, I think it's fine. You trust the cert.
Yeah, you would cause some problems. Like, do you trust the certificates that you already have on your server?
Yeah, if there was a way of adding the localhost and the thing to the cert, which it may do by default. But judging by that error, I don't think it does.
I would suspect not.
But it's fine. We have 2 services up. We've got Vault. We've got console. I can click in here, see all our tasty cert information. Our nice star dot.
Yeah. Until July, we don't have to worry.
Is that when it says?
Mm-hmm.
It's by 7th of July. Add it to your calendar. It's where it's a Sunday. It's where it's a Saturday. It's a Friday. No.
Yeah, Saturday wouldn't be too bad.
Well, it's when it breaks just before we start game streaming.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing a retry.
If it hasn't succeeded the first time, I don't
Client
think
sent an HTTP request to an HTTPS service. Let's call this a stream. Oh, it's the
install key.
Install key is one.
Why are we doing that through HTTP? Oh.
We're using console commands.
I'm surprised I don't use TLS.
So we can that's an easy thing to fix. We can just enable HTTP from localhost. We can enable HTTP on loopback.
Yeah.
But that's not a thing for today. I knew console was going to be annoying.
Fair enough. Well, I guess we've got the console does work with TLS. Our Ansible no longer does, however, so that's a fix for another day. But we're now encrypted over the web, which is good.
Send me encrypted. Nomad's not done yet. We may do that between streams because it's going to be the same as the other two.
I think there'll be a quietly done in the background one. So if you see padlocks on Nomad in the future, it will just
There's no more padlocks. There's no more padlocks. Words. It's just two little dots.
I miss the old padlocks. I wonder if Firefox still has them.
The reason they got rid of the padlocks is people thought it was safe that you had TLS. It's more safe than not, but that doesn't mean you should trust all the websites you're on.
Yeah, but then what they replaced it with doesn't make sense.
Well, they replaced it with a massive not secure if you go to a website that's not TLS.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the padlock itself, because now it's just dash it in Chrome.
We're showing settings. It's showing there's settings if you click onto it. Or there's site settings and stuff. Anyway, we're getting distracted.
Yeah. So thank you for watching, everyone. Follow on Twitch, like and subscribe on YouTube, and we will see you all next week. Where not entirely sure what we're doing at the moment, but something
Fixing this problem.
Maybe Postgres.
Postgres is
We've
a little
got
way
some
away,
nice
my
red
friend.
text. We need to fix this.
Yeah. All right. Have a good one, and we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.